My name's Angela. I am part owner of the herd, Milltown Dexters. We are fairly new to breeding Dexter cattle the last 5 years. It's a fairly new established herd. We like to try and breed shorts, show type animals. We started doing a bit of research on Dexters, and then of course we attend the Balmoral show every year to watch. We're always watching the Dexters, and luckily one year they opened up Balmoral that you could go and see the cattle that were being shown. So we started talking to breeders and got friends who were a really helpful man, Damien Tomaty from County Down. So once we decided that this is what we want to buy, we contacted Damien and he sourced us two very good Dexters, two good short Dexters, and that's where it started. We just educated ourselves on the bloodlines, breeding and confirmation. There's so much that goes to buying a cow. You don't just say it's cute and buy it. You have to judge it on its conformation. Temperament is huge. So then we started sourcing some more, and hopefully we have enough breeding cows now to establish our herd. Dexters are extremely quirky animals. They're the closest you're going to get to a cheeky wee pony. If they see an opportunity, they will take it. You can't herd a Dexter. If you can get one to follow you, you'll get the rest, but if you go behind them and herd them, they'll just go in every direction. I think this is the thing that people don't understand when they buy Dexters, is you need to be handling them like all of ours are handled when the calf's on the ground. Their mummies are also quiet. Some people like to halt a train when the calf is on the mum, but we actually find our way of doing things is when they're weaned, because if you have a calf just following mum, then maybe he's completely different when he's on his own. So we actually wait till they're weaned and in their separate pens, and then we start to go in and annoy them. Like, they're pretty friendly when they're out in the field anyway, because mummies are friendly. So we start to go in and we start brushing at them and petting at them, and you know, when they're actually standing for this, then we put the halter on them and we tie them up, and you know, we say muck out the others, keeping an eye on them tied up, but you know, not really just standing there with them. So then when they've stopped pulling on the rope and they're quite happy to have the halter on, then we go in and start brushing them when they're tied up, and then start walking. So take each one out individually, walk around the shed, and when you feel that this animal is not trying to get away from you, we go out to the sand arena and we start walking them then. And when they're comfortable walking, we'll take them for a walk down the road and get them used to traffic and noises. We actually have the radio going in the shed all the time, because when you bring an animal to shows, there's a lot of unusual noises for them to cope with. So the more that you can introduce them to cars, noises, lorries starting, tractors starting, whatever else, they actually get more comfortable with this. When the Dexters go out to the field, you spend all of your time preparing this field and making sure that they have good quality grass and everything else. And the first thing that the Dexter will go and do is braze the hedges. You know, he'll go and browse the hedges and eat all of the stuff out the hedge. And if there's any ducklings, he'll go and eat this first. They're almost like a goat the way that they eat. You know, they seem to prefer very like herby. They'll go to the grass last, if that makes sense. So they actually, like, if you've got a few weeds in your field, the Dexters will definitely clear them up. Now people think, oh, you could just chuck them out to the mountain and they survive. They obviously don't just survive a mountain. You need to have good quality grass too. Dexters actually aren't sore on land. They won't plough your field up like a Charolais or something like that, because they're quite light, and they are moving all the time. They're not animals that just stand in one spot. They're constantly moving. The cattle we have are not produced for beef, but if you were going to produce for beef, the quality of the Dexter is that it will finish on good quality grass. And there's a lot of more people who've got like stomach complaints and, you know, illnesses are looking for grass-fed beef. So the Dexter cow actually suits this, because you can finish them on good quality grass. Whereas we don't finish any cattle, we don't really breed for the beef trade, but I have two friends that do, and this is what sells their beef, as it's completely, you know, grain-free and grass-fed, and there's a lot of people looking for this right now. We run a sale in Stranola Mart for native and traditional breeds. We had previously run a sale just for Dexters, but the acre scheme seemed to fuel the prices, and we kind of knew ourselves after the acre scheme had finished, these people need an outlet for their animals. So we advertised that we were thinking of running a sale, and we got a lot of breeders from traditional Highland cattle, Galloway cattle, Shorthorns contacting us and saying, this is a brilliant idea, you know, I've actually nowhere to sell my animals. I breed these native breeds, breed these traditional breeds, and even though people think they're cute or whatever, there's actually nowhere to sell them. And it was a huge success, and everybody got great prices. They all went to good homes, which is important. If you put the time and effort into your animal, the money is better and the better customer is there. So this is what we're trying now this year, is to get a few breeders more involved in halter training and doing a bit more with their Dexter cattle. Gets Balmoral then, the Dexter breeders are so friendly, like, you know, we know a lot of them, and they're actually glad to see you come in. And when you get there, it's actually surprising how many of the public come over to you to see the Dexters. They want to pet them, you know, they want to know about them, what are they like, and there's actually a good few people that have thought about getting Dexters, and they've kind of done their research and they come over to you and just ask information on Dexters, and hopefully we can give people the right information and encourage them to go on and buy Dexters. I definitely would recommend Dexters. They're more pets than commercial cattle, if you know what I mean. They all have little quirky characters, but I definitely would recommend Dexters for anybody.